The other day I overheard these, I think it was probably the men's group or something, and I overheard somebody saying, I don't know, they must have a deep thought or something, because they were saying, are you where you want to be in life? And I'm like, what? What the heck? Now that's just a question out there before I go, something's going down.
Yeah.
So I started thinking about myself. I'm like, well, let me answer that question. Am I where I want to be right now in life?
Right.
And to me, the answer is yes and no. And like, say financially. Am I where I want to be financially? No. Would I think I'll be at a better place by now? Yes. Let's see. What else we talk about? Family. I think we're at a good place right now with family. It's our family's growing with our nieces and nephews. Marriage. Working on it. Almost there. Let's see. Spiritually, faith. Getting better. Before I would hide a lot of things, which now I'm bringing them out in the open. But there's another podcast for a reason why that was done.
And what about mentally? Mentally healthy. Are you mentally healthy where you thought you'd be?
No. I thought I'd be a little bit better because of where, say, like my marriage is at. I thought it'd be a little bit better. So of course it interrupts with my mentality of it. I don't know if I told you, but ever since we came from Houston back, something happened to me. But it wasn't as normal to say as it is now.
Right.
So you never really said anything. You just kept everything in, And to this day, my wife still tries to bring some stuff out of me, but I don't share much, and I try not to. Because as a man, you keep that shit down. And so I'm like, oh, you got to, never mind. We'll talk about that some other time.
Yeah.
Okay. But for financially, but I'm able to still, I'm not where I want to be, but I am where I want to be because I still can able to.
You're able to invest.
But I'm able to invest where I want to, like in this podcast that we have, because I've been buying equipment left and right. Before I was like, we need some mics and a camera, and that's all we need. No. Where editing wise, you need better quality system. So we're able to invest, or I was able to invest in that. Even these walls and all this stuff, every show we got, we were improving. So I'm able to invest, but when I'm going back and looking at this, I've always had a part-time job, or I had a side hustle that I would do. So at one time in my life, I had 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs, and I even told you I had 5 jobs at one time, which I used Google Calendar to plan every part of my day on that one. I had color coded and everything,
Yeah.
I'll be at this job. And 2 of them involved theaters, which was a good one, But when I had the money, this money was coming in, we ate out a lot, we went to these restaurants, we would go, go to these trips, or pick up and just go. We would go to that, we'd go out.
Yeah.
So we had the money, but we weren't spending it the right way. But at the time, we never really had the money, so we were experiencing life. We were experiencing the good things in life. Should we have invested a little bit more or saved a little bit more? Oh, hell yeah, we should have done that. But as coming from a family that didn't know better either, and it's not really no better, is that they didn't have the opportunity.
Did you have good role models as parents to how to live a life of value?
I got a good example of how to hustle, how to have multiple jobs, because no matter what my parents did, we never really had a house for ourselves. We lived in my grandparents' house and we lived in my other grandparents' house. And when I was growing up, we had a house, I think in Houston, when I was, I think it was a toddler or something, and we had a house there. We had a fully furnished house. We had like 2 cars. We had a Bronco. We had the 3-wheeler. We would go across the street in the stadium and ride that thing. I mean, life was good, For me to remember that was a moment that I could remember that, man, we were good.
Yeah.
But of course, we heard those knocks. My mom says, quiet down, don't say nothing. And because they were there to pick up the furniture, all the furniture. I think they eventually came back again, and we had to open the door, and they took all our furniture, everything. I had my own room. I remember that. Of course, the reason I remember because I always had to sleep in the dark. They turn my lights off on me and everything. I'm like, but now I love the dark.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was something else. But so I remember all that stuff. So, growing up, and then when I had my family, I wanted a house and I wanted to provide for my family and all
Right.
that. And so we're able to do that, the house, I mean, my kids, they only know this house, But again, I'm able to invest in this because I know later in life it's going to have a return in there. And also, am I where I want to be with, say, family? Yes, I can't. Well, I got to say no too. Yes and no because my mother and my father were
Estranged.
estranged. Not really my father, more my mother, but my father just, I guess he just
Follow
said it too.
suit. Yeah.
Yeah, follow suit.
Yeah.
He has his opportunities to say something or reach out to me, and I told him that too before, but he never does, But of course, I had to protect my family, so I had to be estranged from them. I didn't want to. Do I miss my parents? Yes, but it, you can't pick your parents, but you have to protect your own family too at the same time. And it wasn't well, yeah, it was some threat, so never mind. So family's good there. But at the same, but friends also, we talk spiritually a while ago, but friends, I think I'm good there too because I have this group core friends, and one of us has been on this podcast, but my friendship is expanding with the church we're at, the ministry
Right.
I'm in, especially this men groups, it's a lot of alcohol involved, but it's good. It's hard to wake up the next day, but it's good. Uh, so, but I meet a lot of people because then you start joining more men. It's like you're joining a ministry, but you're actually there to help other people,
Right.
and you get
And
this
that's
calling in your head to
and
say
that's
like,
what we're called to do. And that's so it's doing its job within you. And you're feeling that, and that's good. You're growing not only from friends but spiritually as well.
yeah. So it's good because then you hear that voice in your head. You need to do this. Say yes to this. Say yes to this. I'm joining the Exodus because I saw that Saint Michael's there. I'm like, God dang it, that's the sign, because James Michael's that's his angel and all that, and we always do Saint Michael. I'm like, God, that's the sign right there. I'm not ready for those cold showers, but I can do a cold plunge, but not a shower. So that's good,
Right.
But at the same time, if you put all that stuff together, are you where you want to be in life? But I can actually say I'm in the right place in life right now. I think when I came back from Houston, I was supposed to go this path, the one I was on, because worked for corporate in retail, then I was a retail management and all that. So I was going the same way, you know, and I was successful in that.
Mm-hmm.
But I took a step back and said, I want to be more involved in my family. I want to see them more, because when I worked in Houston, I would leave like at 6:37 in the morning. I won't get back till 9:30, 10. So because we also had to travel inside Houston an hour to an hour and a half one way,
Right.
So a lot of time was on the road. Um, so I wanted to be more involved with them, and I'm glad I was there because I was able to, pick them up from school. I was able to have to take off a day to, if they were sick or something, or take them, or to help them with the ball games, which my wife did more of that anyways, but I was still there. I went to the games. I coached,
Mm-hmm.
even though I had nothing about sports, I coached basketball, and I helped coach baseball, you know. But I was able to do that, and and an example of that is, like, I think you weren't working for a little while. You were
Mm-hmm.
looking for work, but my daughter had an accident,
Mm-hmm.
and she broke her femur, her femur from her hip. So
Mm-hmm.
she was in crutches and she was in pain,
Mm-hmm.
but she got a job,
Right.
and she wanted to pursue that job,
Mm-hmm.
even though in her crutches and pain, she still went to that job. But
Mm-hmm.
you were able to help her because me and my wife couldn't do it. She couldn't drive because of her broken femur.
Right.
So we were just blessed that you were there to help
Mm-hmm.
out and provide that opportunity here for her to work,
Mm-hmm.
because she was, going through depression, realizing she has bipolar and all that. I mean, that was on the verge of
Mm-hmm.
going through all
Mm-hmm.
that. we were just discovering a lot of this. But for somebody who has that and wanted to pursue life,
Who had a legitimate excuse not to work at the moment, but still wanted to.
yes.
Yeah. Not only was it a blessing for y'all that you said that I was able to do that, but her and I, that was also a blessing for me because I not only got closer to her, my second cousin, my younger cousin, her and I, we call that our little support group because we talk every morning about our mental health and how we're able to relate to each other and share stories and know that we're not alone in what we're going through. And so I cherish those moments with her, and I'll always cherish those moments with her. That is when I got super close to her, and I can understand her. So that was a blessing for me as well to be able to know that I am not alone. There's someone else, and know that okay, maybe if she's looking up to me, or maybe she's coming to me for advice, that put me more of an accountability. Okay, make sure that you are getting the help that you need and getting on the right path. That you're not just stagnant. You need to continue to find yourself help. But that was a integral part too in my life as well.
Yeah, and we were so grateful that you're able to do that, because if not, me and my wife would have to show up, late to work,
Right.
Compromise our jobs,
Mm-hmm.
But for you to be there, oh my God, that was just so much. And of course, I played hooky at times, and I just at the window going, just tell her I'm going to work. I'm
Tell her I'm going to
I'm
work.
just kidding. And be at home like, sucker.
Sucker, you gotta take her to work.
Yeah,
Well, sucker to you, because little did you know I like doing it. So.
Oh. But one thing I liked about picking her up from from work
Mm-hmm.
was that I would stop at Sonic most of the days and pick her up or a slush that she liked, and when she got in the car, it was there. So I was trying to provide a good
Positive.
a positive thought coming back home, positive energy. Because I didn't want her to feel like she was a burden,
Mm-hmm.
and she would come to the car and, finally I get to see you. And I give her the stuff, and we talk on the way home. And there's something that came on the radio, some show that we were listening at the same time. And I wanted to make it a positive, a good experience coming home. And because again, from what she was going through, I didn't want her to think again like she was the burden, and she wasn't.
Right,
it
of
was
course.
just it was opportunity for us to bond together,
Right.
to do that.
Right.
So now that that I said this, am I okay where I'm at right now? Yes, I think I'm okay. I have a job that's it's a good job. Doesn't pay that well,
Yeah.
but I have this surplus income from YouTube and other sources, Amazon. So that kind of helps out. Like right now, if me and my wife, we split the bills, sometimes I was paying a lot more and she wasn't paying more, but then we switched because I got rid of my jobs because she wanted me to get rid of them. I did too. I was getting tired, but then she starts making a little bit more now. So she takes a little bit more of the bills, and of course we help each other when needed, but like I can't do it on my own and she can't do it on her own.
Right.
So we're lucky that we're able to split the bills to do that, and it helps, and it helps that I know like she's there and she's providing, but we push each other too, because she was at a job that she just hated. And it took me 2 years to finally get her to switch jobs, and that was a struggle. But I know that's not where she wanted to be in life.
Right.
She was moving towards that, but that she was
Right.
stuck there. But luckily, I was able to get her out.
Right.
But am I comfortable where I'm at? Yes, I think so, because like this podcast, I'm optimistic. I know it's going to work out. I know we're going to be able to reach people and talk to them, and we're going to help them. They're going to send us feedback. They're going to help us, and we're going to give us this point of view that even we didn't think about,
Right.
So I'm excited for that, and I think that's going to go good. So I'm good, where I'm at. But how about yourself? Where are you in life? Are you where you wanted to be in life? Have you ever thought about that before?
Yes, I've thought about it plenty of times, and I look back at my life, and I am not where I thought I'd be in life. When I said yes to my then boyfriend to when he asked me to marry him. And when we got married through the church, um, my example of marriage and being together, it was I had my parents. They were literally death to them part.
Until death do you part. Until death do
They
you part.
literally parted through death.
One passed away one at one time, and then what? 5-7 years later.
Literally, yeah, they were literally till death do they part. One passed away in 2014. The other one passed away in 2021. So they honored their vows up until their dying day to each other. So that was my example. So when my ex-husband approached me one day and said, "Hey, I can't do this anymore." I'm like, "Do what?" Because we didn't argue. We were very involved with our children, our young children. And he's like, "I already made up my mind." I'm like, "Well, let's do counseling. Let's do something." Like, I'm grasping because I woke up and this is what he's telling me. And he's like, "No, I made up my mind." And I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like, "I don't know what else to say." I'm like, "Well, then you need to leave." Well, he did leave. And so um, I was I was left with the house and two kids. And so I was totally blindsided. So that blew up my world at that moment. And it blew up my world and my children's world for years to come. And so my focus at that time was to make sure that my children were, healthy human beings and faithful human beings and were not upset and at God. So I kind of put my love life on hold. I worked.
But so you thought you'll be married by
I
now?
thought I'd be married. I
still.
thought I'd be still married, and so that's not what happened. So I'm single, raising my children. So I put my life on hold for them. You know, my mother passed away, um, and so I know she had mental health issues. So I wanted to make sure that I was taking care of my mental health issues. My mother and her mother treated self medicated with alcohol. So I was determined to stop that cycle. So I made sure I got checked out. In the interim, trying to figure out my mental health and just after my mom passed away, I started menopause. So mental health, menopause, that exacerbated all the psychosis. So it really, really, really messed me up inside. Father was still sick, still alive. I wasn't working. You mentioned that. I was able to help where I could. Um, and and so I was in a weird place at that time.
So at that time, did you think about hey, I'm not where I want to be?
No, I couldn't because I was trying to figure out.
You were just trying to survive.
I was trying to
all
survive.
the circumstances that's going
Yes,
on.
I was trying to survive. My mother being gone, I was trying to raise my children, trying to be sane for them, and trying to have a normal childhood. So all my energy and effort was for them. When they went to sleep, I fell apart. I just couldn't. I couldn't. I was working with doctors, things like that, and making sure I'm trying to get on the right medication. That, of course, is a trial and error. So it took years. It took years. And for me to be able to be motivated to do something, um, and then, when I was able to get, a part-time job or a job at all to work from home, actually, no, dad was sick. And so that my time off, it kind of was good and bad because my time off after I was able to be with my father every day when he was in the hospital for like several weeks.
So you could say, like, kind of like what I said, you were at the right place.
I was at the right place at
to
the
help.
very difficult time in my life. But so again, putting my life on hold for my children, personal life all these years, making sure that they're, okay. So I didn't want to bring men in and out of their lives. Then, my parents were sick. My dad was sick. I was able to be there. And then my mental health, when I'm advocating for someone else, I'm a fierce advocate. When it comes to myself, that's a different story. So I'm able to be there for my parents and my dad toward, until his last dying day. I was there every day at the hospital with him. So I was able to be there and have that time to spend with him, um, and make sure that, he was taken care of as much as he could and understand what was going on with him. So after he passed away, that's when, I was getting myself right. My children, my daughter, my last child was graduating. So she was, off, and I was going to be an empty nester. So all at one time, my parents are gone. My daughter's gone. My son was already moved out because he was helping my mother-in-law, my ex-mother-in-law, but I still call her my mother-in-law. Um, he was helping her. He was helping take care of her. So that was a whole other thing because it was silence in the house. It was me and my sister. And so, I did, I had a job. I started working with the school district and getting back on my feet. Now I was like, now I can live my life for myself because what do I want to do? Do I want to find someone, a partner in life that I want?
How old were you when you were thinking this?
Oh gosh, how old was I? So dad passed away
In 2021.
2021. And so I was
That was 4 years ago.
I was 47. So all this time, all this time. Yeah, all this time. I had not personally, for me wanting a partner in life, I I was not able to pursue anything seriously until
So at 47,
mm-hmm.
did you come to realization now, like, okay, now I got to get the job. Now I got to, help myself, like you
Yeah.
said, because you weren't able to, I guess, date as
Yeah.
much as you wanted to back then.
Yes. And so I was able, at that time, I think I was able on a steady doses of, what do they call it? Not a prescription. What do they call it when you're on a steady something, a medication, like a set of medication?
A cocktail?
Yeah. No, but that's like,
A cocktail of drugs?
no, like a steady.
Cocaine?
No. Okay. So at 47, before my dad passed away, I was, I think, already on a steady set of certain medications that were working for me. So, and I got a job at the school district. And so now I was, again, empty house, empty nest. My sister was with me, but we had different schedules, leading two different lives. So I felt very alone. And so that's when I realized, okay, so what, that's when I questioned myself. Okay, I can now focus on myself. What do I want for myself in life?
What were the things that you wrote down or said, I need to do this in my life?
The most important thing I wanted to achieve is a sense of normalcy, and whatever that meant. I didn't know what that meant. Um, my parents had been sick for um, 11, 12 years. So my life was kids, parents sick, and then kids gone out of the house, and parents are gone. So I didn't, the new normal was ever developing after my mom passed away. New normal. Dad is still sick. Okay, new normal. Dad is dead. New normal. Kids are out of the house. New normal. So I now I was at a point where I had no more parents. The children were out of the house. Now what? There's nothing left for me to take care of. It's just myself.
So you got a plan together, right? Or you
No.
not really, you started thinking, okay, well, first I got to get a job.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, yes, and I had a job. Yes, I got a job with the school district, and so that was it. I got a job at the school district, and I just started working and trying to figure out what I wanted in my life spiritually. You know,
So pretty much just
personally.
rolling with the punches right there.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
trying to see what's next.
Yes, because I needed to feel, I need to be in that feeling of loneliness, because I was always surrounded by something or having to help take care of someone, whether it be my kids or my parents. And so now everybody was gone. It seemed almost all at once. It seemed because my
So then right now,
mhm.
how do you feel? Say, okay, well, you thought you'd be married, right?
Yes, I thought I'd be married.
Family has changed a lot.
Family has changed a lot.
So with the new dynamic you have now, with the new structure,
Yes.
how are you there with family?
I mean, we've talked about this. I think I am good with the family. Um, and I also think that with, talking to you and talking to our other cousin, we try to get together as much as we can, and we try to keep each other close as much as we can. We don't there's not too much time that goes by that we're not in each other's lives or being present for each other. We're mindful. I like to think we're mindful of each other's feelings and
Yeah.
how we're feeling during certain times of the year. Um, we're mindful of the lack of parent support or the lack of parents or the lack of siblings or understanding that our parents are getting older. So I think I appreciate that about our close family circle. We we invite the family that wants to be with us. Your niece and nephew, my cousin's niece, and my
Yes.
cousin's family. Kids. We are all welcoming, and I love that about us. Friends are family by choice, and I love that about us. I love that we welcome other people who we feel comfortable with, and we welcome them with open arms, and we're not judgmental, and I love that about us. So yes, family is good. Spiritually, I am such in a good place. I feel like I can be in a better place, of course, always. I'm very involved with church. um, I am I have friends. I have a lot of sisters in Christ that I can call my friends. I have a few that are closer than others, and I feel comfortable with that. Yes, there's sometimes I still feel alone, but that is just, I think, my my own my brain trying to trick me, which I know I'm not, because I know I can call certain people. I can call you. I can call Roland. I can call my other two friends, and I know that if I really needed them, y'all, that someone would be there for me.
So right now, then family's good, friends are good, or could be
Spiritually,
better, or
no friends. I
friends
mean,
are good
friends are good.
spiritually.
Spiritually, I'm in a good place. I'm close. I'm close as I ever been to God. I feel like I have a sense of peace in my life, even with my mother and my father gone. There is a sense of peace that I've never had before, and I think that also means understanding my mental health as well. Before, I don't think I had that, and now that I understand my mental health, now I feel like, because I can now help control it, I'm in a better place there. Personally, as far as having a partner in life, that that's still a work in progress. You've heard the podcast. That
We
is
have two dating podcasts already out there.
yes, that is I'm working on that. There is a gentleman that I've met that is that's very special to me, and which is amazing because he wants to be closer to God. I can I am trying to help him as much as I can, and but it's amazing to be able to talk to someone that's similar interest, that you can talk to about your faith and really enjoy that conversation, and plus just enjoy his company. We have other things in common, but so that is very new, and so we'll see where that goes. But
So what about I guess financially next?
financially, I feel like I have a good job, but like you said, doesn't pay well.
Yeah, our company does not pay well.
Yeah, so
I mean, but we did sign the dotted line.
yes, we did,
Our technical.
because I mean, there's benefits that are sometimes things outweigh things. But could I be making more money? Yes. Should I be making more money? Yes. Did I think I was going to be at this level of financial? No.
No,
No, not at
I'm there with
all.
you.
Not at all. Do
So
I?
how do you and Anna split those bills? Because that has to be something. Like me and Dory had to split bills.
Yeah.
Like I know I do cell phones. I do the electricity, which right now is almost $300 with the summer. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
bring that back. I pay they pay the insurance
Yeah.
on the house and the cars and stuff.
I help as much as I can, and especially with groceries and stuff like that. I want to be making more because I know that the burden is on Anna because Anna pays more of everything, and so a, that has been weighing on me too. So um, I am I am looking to make moves, hopefully, but um, I think holding this job right now and making sure everything's okay as far as me mentally, don't want to feel where I'm um, where everything is out of sorts all at one time. So um, I, I I I am trying to rectify that to help her more. But my daughter's back at the house now, so she helps a little bit too with her groceries, things like that. So she transferred back from Texas State to UTSA, and she's doing well. So my house is not as empty anymore. She's that she brings a lot of energy as well.
Yes, she
So
does.
yes, and so but yeah, so yeah, financially could be better. I think that is the two places in my life, personally and as far as a romantic partner and financially, the two things are that I would love to work on even more. So or they're a work in progress actually. But yeah,
Yeah, because I could say like when I had my part time jobs, I didn't mind being taking care. I mean, paying for more,
hmm,
which I I was paying a lot.
right,
But sometimes we didn't spend right, so I got a little behind sometimes. I'm like, why am I getting behind? Like, but again, not thinking of the future and all these excuses I could make.
right,
I didn't make the right ones. But man, but now that I don't have my part time, well, I got supplement income.
right.
Like it is hard for one person. Like nowadays, like there's
Yeah.
no way it's hard to
Oh
make
yeah.
it a one person to run a house.
No.
That would run somebody crazy.
Well, that's another reason why Anna and I are still in my parents' house
Yeah, that's
because
good. You're all there to help.
it's looking at rent for other places or even to purchase a home. It's astronomical, and so we're still in our parents' home, and I think that also provides us a level of comfort as well. Because that was our parents' home, and that was our home. When our parents got sick, we in order to help manage their appointment because my parents got sick at the same time, like they bombarded us at the same time. So in order to take care of my children, my mom and my dad, their appointments, we decided to move back into the house, and it was all hands on deck to manage everyone. So and it was just me and my sister. So I think we did a pretty good job on
Yeah,
managing
that's good.
everybody's up everybody. Yeah, managing everybody.
I'm trying to see one of my kids want this house. Like I'm ready to go to no folks home. I'm ready. I have a
Go for it.
studio in there, whatever I need.
Right.
Yeah, because that means like I don't have to pay for stuff.
You have meals
Yeah.
set.
What'd you say?
Meals set.
Oh, they said meals and sex. I was like, what?
Well, old folks home does have a high
STDs.
STD rate.
Yes, they do. Because because I asked Brianna, but Brianna has her own house, and
Right.
I told Sabrina, hey, if you ever want this house, you can have the house,
Mhm.
and I don't think he's gonna do it. James said he was gonna add another story. He was gonna buy the house next door. He's gonna put two houses together. I don't know. So we'll see. Like like growing up, we really never had a house to ourselves.
Mhm.
I think Dora's dad got paid for his house. Well, just her mom finished paying at the end when they got divorced.
Right.
So they had a house, but nobody wanted it, so it got sold off after they both passed.
Right.
So I'm just curious to see what's going to happen to this
This
house.
house.
Yeah, like I don't have a problem to give it to a child. Like here, take it. Um, and I wouldn't sell it to them. I'll just give it. Like I never been a person to sell things. My wife wants sell this, sell that. I'm like, no, I'd rather give stuff away.
Mm.
But going back to original statement,
Yes.
but I also had to think about, like, am I doing everything I can to move forward? Am I doing everything I can to provide, to change my life, to change, to be where I want to be, Can I get a better job? Yes. Do I want to get a better job? Not really. It provides a lot of things for me, you know, financially, you know, again, it could be better, but I'm making moves to be financially better.
Right.
But I say overall, I think I'm at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Um, if you feel you are, if you feel you're behind, or like, can you answer the question honestly, or is it going to be a little hard to answer the questions? You know, put some comments in the description below, and then and we'll get to hear what you have to think and say, and then maybe we could reply to some of those. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button all the time.
Please
And
subscribe.
it really helps the channel grow, and like these videos. But what would be one thing you would like to change?
About my situation?
Yeah. I mean, like, what is, okay, if you had to work on one thing right now, full force, and then God's putting this power on you, and God, Santa Maria, whatever, and He's putting more power on you, what would be the first thing you want to change?
Honestly, I to me, I think logically the job to make more money would be the logical, smart answer. But me, I think personally, having a companion or having a partner, that would not only would I have that, but I think that would make me happy. And then that would also, being happy would give me that sense and empowerment and confidence. Not that someone gives me confidence, but you just feel empowered to, you have an instant support right there. And that you could, and that's how I felt in the past. So I'm just trying to imagine the same thing, that you could conquer or you can achieve more. You have somebody there that's 100% there to support you, and now you're able to, you know, do more
So
things.
having a partner will motivate you more, or give
Maybe
you more.
motivate. Yeah, maybe that's the word, motivate. But I don't even. I guess I don't know. Shit, I don't
Like,
know.
I don't know.
Screw it. I'll just say the job.
Well, I mean, you were saying logically. I mean,
Logically, the job, yes, because logically, but to me, at this age in my life, I feel like it's do or die. Like I don't have a lot of time on
yeah,
this
but
earth.
at the same time, you're saying that Anna provides a lot.
Yes,
so,
she
but
does.
then you have to want to take the stress off of her.
Oh yes, you're right.
I forgot about her.
No, I was. So I guess okay, logically, I'll do job.
I'll do job. You're like, I'll do job.
Job.
All right, I guess so. You
Job.
know.
Yes, I mean, and yes, yes.
Because then you could be able to afford things. I mean, you'll have to say no a lot. You know, depending on what kind of job you have, or you have to take some work home.
Yeah.
You know, I work at a place where I don't have to take work home. You know,
Yeah.
I've done it before.
Yeah.
Didn't like it. You know, because then you're just, no matter what you're doing, you're working. But like, especially in Houston, you know, I was, all the income I had, I was the only income, because my wife was raising the kids. So when I moved there, it was tough. It was really tough in there. We even filed for bankruptcy back in the day there, because we had so many bills and so many things that we were not financially, I guess, educated or the right mind.
Right.
We thought we could just charge something, we'd pay the bill, and that'd be it. But
Yeah.
you know, we didn't know any better.
Right. Right.
Now we do, of course, the hard way.
Yeah.
So it was always hard for me to
Yeah.
provide, you know, pay the apartment, provide all the groceries and stuff, you know, and then pay for the vehicle, the gas and all that, electricity and then gas for the vehicle. I mean, I remember one time we had $7, and we're like, oh my God, we have $7 left. And then we look at Brianna, she was in diapers. We're like, we need fucking diapers. That goes to $7.
Yeah.
You know, like those TikToks or those things are like, oh, we have $20 in account. Let's go out to eat. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was kind of like that. We're like, woohoo, $7. You know, like, nope.
You need diapers. Yeah.
There goes. You know, so it was really hard. It was very stressful too, being like that. You know, but it was stressful. But it was always good to come home to my wife and my kid. My kid first, then we had kids too later. But it was always good to come home with that family, because, dinner was ready. She wasn't no sweats and a shirt person. She was always presentable. Like my kid was always dressed right. House was always clean. So it was always good to come back in that environment. There's a lot of people I hear that don't come back in that environment when they come home.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. I was just lucky enough or blessed enough that I had a wife that could do all that, provided that, and she was taught to do that. If you're not working, you're taking care of the kids. Take care of the house, take care of yourself. For that, he married you for a reason. He married you because of the way you looked. He married you for this other stuff. He liked you. Your everything about you.
Yeah.
So I always liked that. To me, like it was stressful, but it was good at the same time.
Yeah.
To be like that.
Yeah.
And I'll cherish those memories forever. Like, cause every time we talk about Houston, good times.
Yeah. Good times.
Good times. Good times. But anything else you have to add?
No.
All right. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Till next time.
Bye.